spiritual truth and utilize energy on a day-to-day basis, man. And y'all already know what time it is, man, as y'all can see by that title. So we got to get on into it, man, because a lot of things be going behind the scenes, and we started seeing how how things get played, and it may seem like it be real, it may seem like everything on point. You might start believing in it and stuff like that, but we start to find out, when people start getting hemp to things, getting woke. So it's starting, to get to the point that people could just easily point it out to that you could go to multiple content creators and see them pointing out the same things or things that was even different in the same cosplaying event. So now, not only that, we're gonna talk about a lot of things, but I'm gonna give it a little minute to get in because you already know how I do. So let's go ahead and keep it clean, keep it fresh or whatever. And I gotta get his phone a charger, y'all. So I'm a little late, running late on live. My bad about that, y'all. This goddamn phone wasn't charged, so we had to come out here, and get in the Batmobile or however you want to look at it. So you already know when we get up in here, we get to cooking, we get all the ideas. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's a spaceship. Maybe it connect us to higher intellect. But either way, let's get into it, man. So when we look at the fake food agendas, when we start looking at things like this, you can ask the real common sense questions when you even start thinking about things that's even labeled right organic. Just think about this: why is it even not organic? Why is it organic, or why is it just regular food? Like, why not they all just organic? You get what I'm saying? Where you don't even have to label them because they all actually grown from a farm or however. So when you even have little small questions like that in the world that we live in, how do you make a seedless fruit if it don't have seeds to be able to reproduce? Stuff like that, like it start getting crazy, or be able to regrow, or however you want to look at it. Some people might find it vulgar, however. But either way, going into it, it's just like you start seeing that even the food is not even real. So you got the food not real, you got the media that that we get, so that's why a lot of people now are starting to lean towards social media more to getting where they news and stuff, because they already know the news come with a certain angle where they want to make things look, so they like to steer narratives. So not necessarily saying they lying, but the way that they X things out, they'll make it sound like it was something completely different. They make it sound like it was 5 people got robbed and it was all this color, but it was completely different color. So depending on what agenda they trying to fill, we all know they'll be obligated to shift the news to it. So then they started, trying to wean people out or start trying to control media narrative. So then people won't be able to throw their opinion in of how they want the news or however they want the actual word to get out. So when you got this is because the media or a narrative get paid more depending on what things it is, especially when they point out the negative. So that's why we're looking at a world that's like that right now, where they're more concerned with the negative. So even if somebody was doing positives the whole time, even the algorithm itself might throw you in there. It no matter which social media network it is, they just know this is how it works. So even if a person wants to clickbait or whatever, they know this is the way to approach it. They know this is the way to attack it. So when you have people like, keep it real, or a truth channel, that's an actual truth, not a truth because I'm leaning on one side and it's the truth of this provision over there. No, because we got to remember whose truth is we talking about. Because the truth could be, how I'm gonna say, it could be anglized because it could be coming from a different. It could be his truth might not be the same as his truth. He might not really have heard what he said, and he heard it. You get what I'm saying? There's already two different truths there, just on a small little spectrum or whatever. But either way, going into it is just like crazy because we have all this stuff to where now it's like we're being more than just a body. Instead of us just going and being a part of the programs that's going on, you got people starting to zone out and starting to think and start being real life situations where it makes no sense. And by them being greedy, just like we already knew that was going to happen, they even said that because they already knew themselves how it was, being able to control the masses. They fell in love with it. So they got to the point where they try to control narratives and steer them so much that now you got the same people could be able to go back into the things that, try to make for something else, where people, is able to point the things out. So now they're saying, and actually make things even more successful for them. So it's like a bittersweet situation where you got people like basically playing a police officer. So now the investigators ain't got to do but so much work when you got, people already doing it, even if they got to go behind them and do a couple things, but still it already help, at least help them understand where things could be coming from. Further, this is like beef and stuff like that with rappers and how it spread down. But even that, we finna get to it all because you know what I mean? At the end of the day, all of this stuff was to mess you up. It ain't care it was gonna mess you up mentally or physically. I'm telling you that now. Whether it was the foods and stuff making it hard, so walking around with the ball stomach. It's hard to get rid of weight and stuff like that, but it's very easy to gain it. You know what I'm saying? In the oddest positions or the oddest parts of your body, because you know what I'm saying. You got to understand the anatomy of how your food or how your body was actually breaking down things and processing it. If the earth can't process the plastic, let y'all tell it good. What make you think your body gonna be able to process the plastic actual good? You know what I'm saying? In a good way. It's gonna take you a couple of different runovers and stuff like that. So either way, when they talk about, the people that got parasites, however they like to break that down, of course, it's a lot of different things that's in foods. But a lot of things is we gotta stop getting lost in so much terminology and think because someone be right on one end that they're right on other end, like every other end. So you'll have people where they basically know how to trauma bond, or basically I'm gonna look at it like this, where they like vampires. They know who they could go to and they know who not to have the light around them or put some type of light on them. So they hang around or be around the type of individuals. So in this case with the internet, they attract the type of individuals where they know that they could, basically fool them, where they could get a whole audience. Because you go look at some of the comments and stuff that even be with the content creators, even the news medias and stuff, it looks like they damn near got people that works for them. You get what I'm saying? So like you can almost see, well, like, hold on, how in the hell y'all said that was a good news breakdown? And the whole time, this junk don't make no sense. So you got stuff like that where we could clearly see that these people all have an agenda and all ties down with each other. So even come down to the fake food, the fake weather, the fake everything, fake personalities, the fake events, everything be crazy. So even just thinking about how that is, we all start seeing the world for what it really is. So this is like the real truth of just what it is, not no red pill stuff. Because when you go to that, red pill be looked at as extremeness, and the blue pill just look like as a person that's trying to be conservative or a person that's trying to like wean their way out of things. So either way, man, it might not be the right terminology for how people like to look at it, because you got a lot of nerds when it comes to words and they don't understand. That's exactly why you got so many swords that you might lay on. You know what I mean? Because you got too much going on. You're trying to believe in their words more than anything, that you don't even know how to just use common sense to see what life really is. So you get stuck into the terminology and get stuck into the scientific breakdowns or the education systems that train your mind. So it all goes together. You know what I'm saying? The people that works in these higher places like Intel, Microsoft, or NASA and stuff like that, they're looked at as the most elite individuals, or the individuals that that's on I'm gonna say a wide span. So not some secret like thing, or got like some CIA work or something like that. I'm just saying in general, like this is how they work. Boom. So you got like different sectors of how they like to break down things. So like I told y'all earlier, it's just like a box. It's just trying to tell people which box you want to get into, how you want this box. Let me try to get some better connection too, because I see this done. What's the name? I don't know if it's streaming or not, y'all, but bear with me if it is, bear with me if it ain't. So I just got to keep going in with it or whatever, because a lot of times y'all already know how these lives be. But I broke down a whole section and been I froze you, or but not even show the video until you actually got into the video itself. But yeah, I'm gonna try to lean out here real quick with this one. Try to see. All right. Yeah, try to keep this damn connection, because one thing about it, when you using your mobile, it is not as strong. Even if you got 5G in the house and 5G in the Western, it's like more consistent when it got something that is going off of. Hold on real quick, y'all. Let's see what his battery life at. I'm trying to get out and then go dead on me as soon as I get out. I don't know why they're showing me. Well, if it go dead, I'll put it back up or whatever and just keep it going. But anyways, so I gotta get close to this connection and make sure we good and clear. All right, but yeah, either way, back to what I was saying. It's like all of it ties in with each other. So we start seeing how people start trying to fill out these agendas, whether it's the mainstream media, whether it's the social media. We start seeing how a lot of events play out. So this is like a breakdown of just to show us how the world be actually controlled. Hold on, I'm gonna get close to this box too. Oh, well, we're gonna have to deal with these loud behind cars. I know that. Out the gate, as soon as we got back here, the loudest cars that it could be. But yeah, I wanted to break down a lot of things, because even when it comes down to relationships, they'll have a fake relationship, but really it's a business ship. So like they'll have two people acting like they get along, or how these people like they must get along because they have fans, they have audience, they have like a likeness that they build with each other. So like these people like to use these type of things. So like this is how they build material of creating narratives. So how they able to steer a narrative is once everybody believe in it. They can't get a narrative going if people don't believe in it. You get what I'm saying? It ain't gonna go but so far it'll fall flat. So even the ones that they get away with, you know how they say they dig holes, and you know when you tell a lie you got to dig a hole and all this and that. They be actually be done did a whole bunch of holes. That's the reason why even conspiracy theories and stuff like that be looking like, you know, they got facts on these people, but we still got to be careful because some of the conspiracies be a little overthrown, if you get what I'm saying. Like one of them, I don't know if they're gonna demonetize or however, because you know they be tripping with that. Just say extraterrestrial. Let's just put it like that, right? Where they play a different role with that. Y'all don't understand. Why is these things so connected to a certain group of people? So when we start thinking like that, it's like, why is these group of people the main ones that's only experiencing it? And like when you say that you experience it, it might not even be that. You get what I'm saying? Like it'd be the craziest cameras. It'd be the most craziest things. Like I said in the other video a couple weeks ago. How is it that the cameraman is always safe? Or why is it that every time we see one of these videos or something and they telling us this the truth behind closed doors, it looked like it shot the video from 1947 or something. So it has like the raggediest camera, the most I'm gonna say the most useless equipment, all type of junk, and then they expect us to believe in stuff like that. So when it come down to things like that, because they done shook us with history, they done shook us with even our education program of how they teach us. They don't teach us necessarily to know how to think on our own. You know what I'm saying? It's not critical thinking. They persuade your mind. So basically, they give you the lens of the colonizer. So when you look at the people that you know took over lands and stuff, or the people that study conquer things, you don't look at it as evil. So let me give you a prime example of how it works today. When Americans go to war with anybody else or anybody go to war, it don't be looked at as it's something that's bad anyway because, you know, what's involved during war. You know what I'm saying? Violence and all that type of stuff. So it don't be looked at like that. It be looked at more of, oh, this is what we supposed to do to be able to provide better. You know what I'm saying? So it's like shaping the mind to say that it's okay to take over people's lands, or it's okay to do things that you necessarily wouldn't do, but for them to do it, it's okay though. You know what I'm saying? So they teach to have the mind of being selective. So even when it comes down to the cricket politicians, the false prophets, the false leaders, they all know how to do that. You know what I'm saying? They all know how to move right out of the way of something that was very important and then go side talking. So they'll go like, damn, you'll be like, damn, you didn't hear what that person said? They'll be like, nah, I can't help but because look at the way they look. They'll just, you know, come up with creative narratives and like try to stir something the whole way. So instead of you talking about, you know, the bullets or the points that somebody making, they know how to make you be focused on something that has nothing to do with what a person had going on. You know what I'm saying? So they teach a judgment of lack of character in the wrong sense. So instead of you finding out or looking at what a person's saying, so even when a person try to make a point, it's always somebody trying to judge. You know what I'm saying? So that's the reason how they was able to do that with everybody, and then put people in a situation where they had to do things that, you know, that they'll frown upon on themselves, where they might want, you know what I'm saying, like got people in sticky situations, got people doing things like out of the hermit situation. So look at it like a hermit shell. You know what I'm saying? Look at it like a hermit crowd. They put you in a mode where you feel like you have to be, you know, stationary or, you know, be stable no matter what. Even if you're in a business, you get what I'm saying? You got to keep your business going no matter what. Even if you got to fire a couple of people that you know for a long time, even if you know, this the only source of income or this the only way that they can even get money into their home, you don't really care about that. Further is when it comes down to the numbers. If you as a business trying to be producers, like we all know that, you know what I'm saying? The day, it's the way that they play these things out, and it's the way it get done. Sometimes you want to take you all through that, and the business still end up failing for something else that you didn't have nothing to do with, but they'll cut ties with you, put their friendship on the hood, their livelihood, everything. You know what I'm saying? Just to produce for this business. So even when it comes to the jobs, you know what I'm saying? You got the Uncle Toms and the jobs. You got the Uncle Toms and social media. You got the ones that sit there and they'll look at you working all day or whatever, and then as soon as you're not working or something like that, they ready to tell on you. You know, you got that on a small note of how that works. So at the end of the day, it's just crazy because I gotta get me some water in a bit. But it's just crazy though because it's like every time you think about how these people like to move and create these different agendas, they always try to get us to get into whatever they got going on. Necessarily got nothing to do with us. But once we all put our power or put our attention into it, this is what spreads the power. So this is why they're able to keep things going. But anyways, man, I'm gonna finish this video up later on. Like I said, this jump about to go dead, so y'all tune back in. I'm gonna finish this up.